my God.
We are back.
Good to hear that air horn, baby.
Wow.
Welcome back, everybody, to Lone Lab Podcast, episode 9. We just had to figure out what episode it was because it's been a while.
The Bears are 10-4.
Bears are 10 and
Bears are
4.
10-4.
We're back in the lab. James,
What's up, baby?
how we doing? I'm with the magical, the mystical, the wonderful Mr. James Weber.
Man, I got tired of hearing that. Just kidding. I love it. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? We are super apologetic for not giving you a lot of episodes here over the past few months. We're going to talk about why that is and what's been going on with the Lone Lab Podcast, but we appreciate you for hopping in and listening and watching us wherever you're watching from, whether it's Spotify podcast, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We appreciate all the support this year. Probably the last one for 2025 because we got some big things coming for 2026 in the Lone Lab Podcast.
We do. And the main reason that we haven't done this is due to what would be a pretty significant partnership that's being inked between the Jimmy Weber Group and Marquee Network. So our hope is that we can bring some pretty big guests next year onto the Lone Lab Podcast, because that, of course, is part of it as well. But we didn't want to put an episode out and tease this until it was officially inked. So big news. We're excited, and we, of course, hope you are as well.
We're here now, though, baby.
We are here now. And then, of course, the not so fun excuse is that we've been busy, because we have, and this has taken back seat. But I would say that the main reason is because we had that thing in the wings here with that offer and the advertisements that we'll eventually do with Marquee. So we're excited.
Let's go. Let's go. So we got a great episode for everybody to cap off a really great 2025. We, again, appreciate all the downloads, all the subscriptions, all the likes, comments, the questions from this whole year. It's been a lot of fun doing this, and we're going to make it bigger and better for 2026. One of
my goals personally is to bring this back bigger and better. And I mean, it's not that we don't love doing this. Getting back in the lab, as you could probably hear in our voices, it's the best, man. This is fun for us. It's not just necessarily finding the time to do it, but we want to continue to get better, and that takes work. So we're committed to making that work a top priority.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Well, since it's been a while, let's kind of talk about what's been going on in the mortgage real estate world. We are in holiday season right now, and happy holidays to everybody out there. It's actually been a bit busier this holiday season than it has over the past few years. I would say even 6 years, just looking back at data from our own personal production, from leads coming in. It's been very busy, which is good. Why do you think that is, James? What do you think's going on?
This can segue into our markets in a minute in a way, right? So we have seen what we've been begging for months, which is a more stagnant market, right? Mortgage rates have been between 6 and 6.5 on an average level now, basically since summer. So I think we've talked about this many times, right? The psychology of people seeing a mortgage rate where it is and what it's going to do, and then that going back to the opportunity cost of buying now as opposed to later. More people are being incentivized right now, not only to buy, but to sell, right? Maybe it's not time to wait for that interest rate to go back down to 5%. We need to move our family. That brings more inventory into the market, and demand hasn't been short. We've had this housing shortage for a while now, but we have buyers. We've got pre-approved people on the street, as we like to say.
You have been preaching in every mortgage rates in a minute update about we want stagnation in the market.
Yes.
And you predicted it. And we've gotten that.
It's nice to be right, man.
We've gotten that over the past 4 months.
Have we not? It's so good for not just the mortgage market, but the market in general. Because again, we could say this till we're blue in the face, but if mortgage rates were to fly down, prices will increase. If mortgage rates go up, payments increase, right? Like it's a losing battle when waiting if you need to move. Now, of course, again, the people that want to move and they're out there window shopping, maybe you're not incentivized yet to do such a large financial transaction, but many people are having those thoughts of, should we just pull the trigger now? And that's why we're busy.
And yeah, it just speaks testaments to what James has been predicting and talking about is stagnation is good for the housing market. It brings back stability, which then brings in, more buyers, more sellers, those big dips, those big raises in interest rates. It's not good for the market. So we've been stagnant here for the past 4 months, and we've been busy, man. People have been buying houses.
Yeah, and people have been refinancing their mortgage too. Think about the people that did buy with a 7.99 rate that they needed to move and they were so upset about it. But we fulfilled our promise to help them manage their debt on a monthly basis and get them into cheaper money.
Let's talk a little bit about refinancing because that's been
hot topic.
hot topic, and I'm going to ask you a question that my clients ask me that you probably get asked is, should I wait to refinance? Are rates going to continue to come down? Why would I refinance now if we're expecting interest rates to go down?
What I'm telling all my clients is that we certainly hope that mortgage rates are going to go down and continue to go down. However, in a perfect world, right, that magic wand scenario, these rates drop slowly but surely. So if you're at a 7.5% rate right now and you're considering, man, should I refi down to 6.5 or should I wait until this thing is into the fives? My pitch to my clients since I'd gotten to the mortgage back in late 2014, early 2015 was the no cost refi. You could talk to my coach, Tim Brahim. You could talk to Barry Habib, any of these extremely successful people that started in call centers like we did, James and I. That is how we created our book of business, to help take care of people when they needed it. So again, to answer your question in a little bit of a shorter way, I'm going to tell my clients, take this win right now, because if things don't go the right way, you will be kicking yourself. So take the win. I'll do this for you at no cost, and we'll just do it again when the opportunity presents itself later.
You hit it right on the head. If you are out there thinking about refinancing, or should I wait, or what should I do, you have to realize if there is any cost to refinance or if there's not.
Yep.
Me and you are on the same page. We were taught the same way.
Right.
Anybody that comes to me and says, I want to refinance, it's got to be at little to no cost.
It needs to be sensible as well. There are cases where someone's like, hey, I want to purchase a point. And then I go back to my software, Mortgage Coach, and show them this is what it looks like if you buy a point. Here's a market refi. I've gotten about 10 of those scenarios in just the last 2 to 3 weeks. Every single person has taken my advice to go with the no-cost loan. It's not because I'm pushing them that way. My job is to show options. It's your job as the consumer to pick a loan. It's your mortgage. It's your house. All I can do is give you what I would do. And, that usually works out when it's at no cost.
Yeah. And, there's situations where we're dropping people at maybe 0.25% of a rate, or 3/8 or 0.5%. And a lot of, consumers out there are saying, I've heard it doesn't make sense if it's not a full percentage point lower. It's not the case, especially when we're talking about, hey, we're going to do this at no cost. You got to take the win. Like you said, now you can always refinance again. That's a big misconception. Am I strapped with refinancing multiple times?
No.
When we bought our house, my first house, I refinanced 4 times in 4 years.
Yes, absolutely.
And just took no cost refinance, no cost refinance, no cost refinance, because it made sense.
I purchased my home in May and I've already refied that loan.
Exactly. I'm looking to do one here in January, right? There's no limitations on how many times you can refinance. Of course, it needs to make sense and you have to have benefit every single time you do. But the point of that is take the win now. If rates continue to come down, if we're in the fives by next year, you just do it again.
And saving $100 on your monthly payment, like we understand, for some people that could be life-changing money over the course of a year, somebody that really needs that extra cash flow. However, again, with our software, Mortgage Coach, or whatever you use out there in the market, what I'm showing people is really looking at the freedom point. This is what it's going to look like if you continue to make your same payment, which you told me in our consultation that you were comfortable paying. You're going to cut 2 or 3 years off your loan. Now, I know that might not seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but that's going to save you tens of thousands of dollars of interest over this life of the loan, if for some reason you do ride this out, for 10, 15 years.
And there's always different strategies that come with refinancing based on the home that you're living in, and what if that's the forever home, which I know forever home is, nobody has a crystal ball. But my point is I've done some 25-year fixed loans for people who started with a 30-year fix where their payment didn't change, but they knocked off 5 years on the life of the loan, and it's going more towards their payments going more towards principal. I'm looking to maybe do a 20-year fix.
Yeah. I locked one up last week where my client was really between a 15 and a 30. My pitch on the 30 was overpay this. The 15 with a lower rate was, hey, your payment's going to go about $200 a month. But he was very adamant. He's like, I don't think I have that personal discipline to overpay it. Let's just go with the 15. I'll hold my standard. And I said, hey, man, this isn't normally what I recommend, but this is your loan. And if you want this, let's go to the 15. Let's cut your interest rate by 1.5 because it was a nice deal for him in any case. But he's like, dude, let's do it. I can do this. Maybe, and I told him, maybe next year, if mortgage rates are in the mid to high fives and the 30, you can extend that term back. Just because you went down to the 15 doesn't mean that you can't go back to the 30.
Without a doubt.
We did so much of that during COVID. You remember, man?
Gosh.
Someone with a 15-year loan that we did at 4% in 2016 comes back to us with a 2.5 on a 30. That's free money.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So refis, they're hot. There's opportunity out there. You have to structure it the right way and
Yeah.
strategize it the right way. But it does make sense if there's not a lot of costs involved right now.
No doubt. And like we predicted, the servicers and the vultures are out. The trigger leads are still a thing. Luckily, not for long. But on these refis, a lot of my people are coming back to me like, "Hey, my current servicer hit me up." And of course, I was proactive. I got to them first, pulled their credit. They're then getting that call, but then they're showing me a loan estimate or going through things with me on the phone. How there's thousands of dollars involved in this. I'm like, this is why you need somebody that you have in your corner, someone that you can trust, not just someone that's calling you because you got your credit pulled.
There's going to be a lot of solicitation, and there already is if you hold an existing mortgage about rates in the 5s. I've even seen some rates in the 4s, right? But that solicitation comes with not a lot of data attached to it. It'll have an interest rate and then an APR, right? But you really have to look at the dollars and cents, and that's why you have to come to people like us and let us review it. We're never going to turn away anybody from a better deal, but it's usually not a better deal, and you're not, as a consumer, you're not really knowing what's going on with your loan. You're just looking at that shiny low rate that has a lot of fees attached to it.
Well said. I mean, hell, man, you could bring your car to 4 different mechanics. I would guarantee that you get 4 different prices
for sure,
and 4 different scopes of work of what needs to be done. So just work with whom you trust. That's my recommendation.
Without a doubt. And I think there's going to be more opportunities, continue to have opportunities of refinancing through next year. Right now, at least from our past experience, the holiday season, not a lot of movement in interest rates as we go through these holiday seasons.
It's just a slow trading time in general, always. But we've seen an uptick in refi applications because, again, these mortgage rates are low in comparison to, let's say, last year, the year before that. And people are taking advantage of that win.
I love it. I love it. I pulled up just some, as we're on the mortgage rates and we're talking about refinances, just some predictions for 2026 of next year, where all these accredited services and companies that we follow think where mortgage rates are going to go over the next year. So I'll read them off. MBA, 6.4% for a 30-year fixed. Redfin, 6.3% for a 30-year fixed. Freddie Mac, 6.2% for a 30-year fixed. NAR, 6% for a 30-year fix. Zillow says above a 6%. They didn't really give a actual one.
Yep.
And then Fannie Mae, 5.99%. And then we have MBS Highway, who we follow, Barry Habib, 5.5%. So we're ranging from 6.4% to 5.5% predictions for next year, 2026, 30-year fix.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think? Where do you think it's going to fall? Let's give our Loan Lab prediction here.
Yeah, so I'm going to start with saying, if you're looking at a chart of historical mortgage rates, which I am right now, from 1971 to now, your average mortgage rate is 7.71, and people tend to forget that. People also tend to forget that in 2022, winter into spring, the average mortgage rate went from 3% to about 5.5% in the span of 2 months, right? That's what took the market for such a turn. So we're still trying, in a way, to recover from that because inflation was so out of control after COVID. That's why those things had to fly up, right? A very hawkish market, as people say, or hawkish moves by the Fed just to take the federal funds rate up so significantly, so quickly. Now we're starting to see cuts, but with those cuts, we're not seeing mortgage rates go back down into the 5s quite yet because there's so much else going on from a geopolitical standpoint, from just your overall stocks and bonds, markets, equities, everything going on in that case too. My hope, my prediction, to answer your question finally, would be that we would be in somewhere between maybe 5 7/8 and 6 1/8 by maybe spring next year. Right?
Yeah.
So, and to go a little bit deeper, if you look at some average mortgage rates right now, you might see 6 1/8, but I'd be floored if that's not including different costs like points and such. So I'm talking about getting to a very low 6% rate or high 5s without having to pay anything to get that mortgage rate.
Yeah, I'm with you. If I have to give just a broad view, kind of dumb, hey, where do I think they're going to be? I think we can touch 5%, but the high 5s. But
Call it 599, right?
Yeah, that's what I would say. 599, 5.
What did we say before, man? You get 599, people are dancing.
Yeah, we're dancing. Yeah, we're dancing.
Dancing.
No, it's good times right now from the sense of where we've been over the past few years.
Yes.
We're starting to, we keep saying the word, get stagnant, and that's good. That's good for everybody that's involved in this industry, buyers, sellers, us, real estate agents, attorneys, you name it. This is good for business to stay stagnant. stagnant like this.
It brings more power to buyers as well. We've been in a seller's market for a really long time, and that's because mortgage rates were so crazy high. Here, we're now being presented with more opportunities for buyers to get credits again, which has been really nice. Doing a VA loan for a client right now, 0% down. He's got a $15,000 credit on the thing, and it's not built into the price. It's just the home's been sitting a little while, and it makes a ton of sense for everybody. We weren't seeing those last year, man.
No,
we weren't.
No, we weren't. Yeah, there's more, closing cost credits and those different type of things. It's starting to get back to an even playing field for everybody involved with the transaction, which is awesome.
You're still seeing a lot of Chicago markets, or even, Chicagoland suburb markets that are just absolutely on fire, like your Frankfurts of the world, your neck of the woods. Where I live, Western Burbs, the North Shore, those are 3 of the toughest places to get an offer accepted right now. You're not seeing those types of credits, and I mean, your homes are getting 10 offers on day 1, right?
Yeah.
City condo market still too, anywhere between, let's say, like 300 and 500 or 600. Those things go really quick. That's that sweet spot. Once you get a little bit higher than that, it becomes more of almost a boutique listing because they're harder to move.
Yeah, well, let's I want to transition a little bit into just this season.
Markets in the Minute always takes 10 minutes, bro.
Markets in a minute or 10 minutes.
We love it.
We love it. We love it. Well, that's
our lifeblood.
I mean, hey, it is, and that's what people care about that, and it's the most important part of our job. It's interest rates. So.
Which we wish it wasn't, but on the forefront, it is. There's so much more to it, of course, from building relationships and being there for our people. But if we didn't know what the hell we were talking about the market, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Without a doubt. Since we're in holiday season, and I think we started this podcast January of this year was one of our first episodes, and we were getting out of the holiday season.
I remember it being
before
freezing.
Super Bowl. But right now, James, usually a little bit of a lull when people are out there buying. There's not as much inventory, but as we said, it's a little busier right now. Let's kind of talk about what's going to happen here between now and Super Bowl. I know we mentioned that at the beginning of this year, but let's just give a little recap of holiday season buying, selling, kind of what we see out there.
Great question, because it's so important to go into, and we talked about this briefly a moment ago, why it's still busy right now, but why it will be busier into the spring, because 1, it always is, but 2, especially right now, because we've seen interest rates stay pretty stagnant. Those people that need to move, let's say, in preparation for next summer, they're going to list their house, January, February. They want to get things moving quickly. They need to make a move. So what are they going to do? They're going to call their real estate agent. They're going to start planning. They're going to start showing their home. There's no sense in waiting in that, because they know that they're going to be up against more competition as other people also list their homes. There will be more inventory.
Spring market starts now and more than ever. And I'm not saying that from a sense of inventories coming right now, because it's not. It's been a little bit higher than it has been in the years, but I'm talking about those buyers out there.
Yes.
You need to get prepared now, because we are seeing people who are already out there shopping right now trying to find a house, and those people are still going to be there once spring market comes around, and there's going to be some competition going on when the spring comes back. So,
listen, we've said this before. There's never a bad time to buy real estate. There really isn't. In the winter, you can get that quote unquote deal. In the spring, you're up against 10 other people, right? Do you want to be in that position? Or do you want to get out and start being proactive now? It doesn't mean that you have to purchase a home if you get pre-approved right now, but I mean, it happens all the time. Someone comes to me, I'm going to buy next spring. We get them pre-approved. They fall in love with the home the next week, because now all of a sudden, what I preach is confidence and comfortability.
Yes.
They know that they can qualify. They're coming to me, running numbers, making sure that when we write that offer, we know exactly what we're getting into, and that's because we're represented by a good lender.
Without a doubt. It's so,
and a kick-ass real estate agent.
It's so very important if you're thinking about buying next year that, and we talk about being prepared, and you said comfortability, and there's no, the time to start was yesterday.
You can't be reactive.
To do that. You cannot. And there's no reason that if you're looking to buy in the spring or the summer that you should start this process then.
Just be proactive.
Yes.
It's simple.
Without a doubt. There's some good deals out there right now from a sense of homes sitting a little longer, at least in my area in the south suburbs. I do see listings sitting a little bit longer, but it's normal right now.
It is.
I think due to the fact that, hey, we're in the holiday season, like I keep saying, but also I think it's, like we said, it's softening up a little bit from a from an inventory standpoint, from a listing standpoint. So definitely some good deals out there from a sense of buying and purchasing a home. That being said, that can flip
This
on a
happens
dime.
every winter.
Every winter.
People are like, hey, this spring market's not going to be like every other spring. Hell yeah, it is. It's going to be crazy. It always is.
No doubt. But it's one of my favorite times of the year because there are great deals. People are getting prepped up for the new year. Everybody's excited about what's happening in the new year.
Love this time of year in general.
It's
I'm
awesome.
a Christmas baby myself. My birthday's the 21st. It's the 18th.
Hey,
right
happy
now.
early birthday,
Let's
James.
go.
Happy
Let's
early
go.
birthday, James. How old? 23?
Yeah, 23 plus 11, 34.
Damn, you getting old, bro.
I'm getting old.
We are getting old.
Getting old.
We're getting old. I'm only a year behind you.
I know. You're young though.
Yes.
Yeah, until you turn
Young
34.
boy.
34 years old.
Oh
boy.
man.
What else we got for the people?
Well, I wanted to kind of talk about how supported everybody has been on this podcast, even though we haven't put out as many episodes as we wanted to.
I get asked all the time, where are you guys at? By different people. Because the people want it, man.
Yeah, for sure.
The support's there.
We started this, of course, for the content to give out to everybody out there in the audience, in the industry. And it's been an awesome year doing this. And just some stats. I know we've reached 500 downloads.
Great.
On the Lone Land podcast across all platforms. We're getting some really good engagement on our YouTube shorts that we have. So please, if you if you're not subscribed on the YouTube page, please go and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button. We're dropping some really good shorts on there. You can watch the whole episode. It's just been an awesome experience doing this. And like Jimmy said, with the deal that he inked for his group, we're going to have a lot more opportunity to put out some really good content throughout the next year.
Just some great guests too. Some celebrities we'll call it, but it'll be fun.
It's going to be awesome. So we appreciate you guys. Again, it's the season of giving. It's Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year. Like we're just super grateful for everybody out there who has tuned in, who's listened, who's given us grace and gratitude with us just starting this as we were podcast rookies. I don't think we can say that anymore. We're going into as my boy Jeezy says, Jeezy, sophomore year, but I'm spitting like a veteran.
Wow.
And that's what we got to do next year. We're going to commit to it.
Doesn't it feel so much easier? Just putting it together. I mean, we came in today like, how do we do this again? But we plugged in and got ready. Like, man, looking back on the first couple episodes, we were cutting, we were going back. Our guests were like, what the hell is going on? But people trusted us and we got it done. For sure. So we appreciate everybody. We will make a commitment to be better and getting in here a lot more because we have to, right? Now that big deal is inked, we're going to have some big priorities with this podcast, some guests, some giveaways. A lot more to come with this. Definitely a bigger social presence.
Yeah, have to.
We might be on a marquee commercial, guys. It'll be pretty cool.
Let's
Tune
go.
into Marquee.
Let's go. And then, another big announcement is another on-site podcast next year that we're going to be filming. We're not going to release where it's going to be, but we will be on site again, maybe in the country, maybe not.
Ooh.
We'll let everybody know, but we're going to do one of those awesome, on-site live podcasts again.
You mean off-site? We're going.
Or off-site.
Yeah, we're
off-site,
going.
Excuse me. Yeah.
The portable
off-site.
mics.
The portable mics. Hopefully not as much wind, but we got some really great things planned for next year for the Lone Lab podcast. So again, we cannot thank you enough. Please continue to like, subscribe, comment, send in your Lone Lab or your lab tested questions, which we didn't have any this time, which is A-okay. We're going to keep hitting that segment. We'll keep doing mortgage rates in a minute, and send us your suggestions on who you think we should have as guests. We want to continue to blow this thing up as much as possible. So we thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And I'd be remiss if my boy James and I here didn't talk about the Tenant Fort Bears for at least a couple minutes.
Gosh. So
at least a couple minutes.
What a season it's been. It's been so much fun. And my take on the season thus far is everybody's been saying we're ahead of schedule as a team, which we are. You can't deny that. It's a first-year head coach, first-year offense. Caleb has been, coming into his own.
Yeah.
That being said, the house money.
No, let's go for it, man. We've got a rookie, like a quarterback and 2 tackles on rookie contracts. The roster is stacked because it can be for those reasons. Like, I'm not saying that the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not going nuclear here. Do I think they can make a playoff run? Absolutely.
You have to take advantage of these moments when you have a good team because it's not going to be the same team next year.
Yeah, it's not.
This isn't like,
look at 2018, man. We all thought, all right, it was Nagy's first year. He won Coach of the Year. They went 12-4. We're like, all right, That first round exit to Philly really hurt, but next year we'll be back.
They
Bears
didn't
were
even
500.
make the playoffs next year.
They did at 8-8. Remember?
Oh yes,
They lost to the Saints. It was terrible, but that was the beginning of the end already for Nagy. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about right now. Mark Grody on the score, who is always on, big Bears guy. This is no longer a pipe dream. This team is good. They're 10-4. It was a statement loss to the Packers, as much as that hurts to say, but shit, man, they went into Lambeau and gave them hell. Packers beat reporters after that game were like, the Bears are for real.
Yeah, and I think they are. And that's why I'm saying, like, the house money stuff, and yes, we're ahead of schedule, and it's been an awesome season. And, whatever happens, I'll still look back and say it was a great season and we're building. But these opportunities do not come often. And this can flip on a dime, as we've seen with multiple teams in our city. Remember the Bulls with Derrick Rose.
Yep.
MVP season, one injury changes everything. And of course we're not thinking that's going to happen, but it happens.
But it's time to win right now. If you can stay healthy, which they've managed to stay relatively healthy other than in the defensive backfield, but maybe shut Rome down for the rest of the regular season, at least once we know that we're in the playoffs, and just get healthy and make a run. Get better on third down, especially third and short. Sometimes Ben gets a little bit cute, but we can't fault Ben Johnson. The Bears are 10-4.
It's amazing. Right, it's amazing.
First in the
I went back
and
listened to our predictions, and I think you had them at 10-7.
Mm-hmm.
We've reached 10, which is amazing.
I thought they were going to win double digits almost for sure. I was like, it's happening, but I didn't think that we'd be in this position.
Some of the games, of course, on both of our sides, we didn't pick correctly from a win and loss standpoint, but we've gotten to the point of they've met your expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I had a meatball 12-5 take.
12-5, it could still happen. Man.
We need to win 2 out of the next 3.
Yeah.
You need to win.
Take one of those at home division games.
You have to. There is a world where they win 11 games and they do not get in.
Playing in San Fran is so difficult. Of course, the Niners are a good team, and people always downplay this, but you're going across the country. That travel does play. You'll ask the players, like, that sucks, man.
Without a doubt.
Going to play in San Fran, especially if they lose this weekend to the Packers, God forbid, then they have to go out to San Fran in a comeback. The one thing the Bears have done so well this year, other than weeks 1 and 2, they don't stack losses.
No, they
don't stack losses. We're used to the Bears losing double-digit games in a row. It was historical losing streaks. They do not stack losses this year. So don't lose 2 in a row here. Please don't lose 3 in a row.
So here's where we're at with playoff implications with the Bears is, long story short, it comes down to week 18 against the Lions.
What are the Lions going to be playing for? They can be eliminated this weekend.
They can. Now, that's when I say it comes down to week 18 with the Lions, that's saying if the Bears lose the next 2. Right. It comes down to week 18 with the Lions. If the Lions win their next 2, they play the Steelers. Let's go Aaron Rodgers on Sunday. And then they have the Vikings.
Will Rodgers do his best? Let's continue to just fuck the Bears like he's done his whole career and drop an absolute dump against the Lions. He might.
Yeah.
I could see. I mean, he hates the Bears so much he could do that just to, despite the, of course, I'm tongue in cheek saying that, but man, we need Aaron Rodgers to go off this weekend.
So that is the just big picture. Hey, to get in, you have to beat the Lions on week 18. Now, of course, there's 2 games before that.
Yeah.
This Saturday night game. This is, what's the date today?
Today's the 18th.
Today's the 18th when we're recording this. This will probably come out after the Packers game, Bears game on Saturday, December 20th.
They're going to win.
This is one of the, I cannot think of a bigger regular season game in the past 10 years.
It's the biggest home game at Soldier Field that's not playoffs, which there haven't been many of them. Definitely in 10 years.
Which is wild, and it's awesome, and I'm so happy that we're in this spot. It's so much fun.
Probably since the Bears, Randall Cobb over Conti, Bears Pack weeks, it was then 17.
It was the last game of the year, right?
It was then week 17. It was win or go home. So it was basically a playoff game in the regular season. Packers beat the Bears because Rodgers to Cobb over the middle of the field, Chris Conti. We could talk about that a lot, but we won't. The Packers win, the Bears go home. It's probably the biggest game since then. That's Jay Cutler.
Huge game for not only just playoff implications, but division winning implications.
Sure.
They win this game. They all but throw the dirt over the Packers' coffin
to win the division. Packers almost certainly will get into the playoffs. And they're still a dangerous team with Micah or not. But if the Bears can put them down a little bit here, it's going to be really important. Not just for the Bears psyche, but to like you said, kind of put the dirt on that coffin for the NFC North.
It's really I was looking at the
Nagy
bracket.
won NFC North in his first year.
I think they can do it, and I think they can beat this team. They're 1.5 point favorites now. I saw on DraftKings.
They're at home.
Because they're at home. I think they started before
The Pack are a favorite on a neutral field.
Before
that's okay.
Micah got hurt. And they had the injuries last game. They were 3-point underdogs. That line moved big time.
Well, I don't think all of a sudden Watson probably isn't playing either.
He was looking good on the Twitter videos
Really?
I saw at practice yesterday. Yeah, that guy, hey, I do not like the Packers. I hate them. I never wish for injuries, even though I'm tongue-in-cheek sometimes with some of this stuff. But you never want to see that. That being said, I hate Christian Watson. That guy is a dog, man.
He's so good. He's so fast, especially coming up, dude, off the ACL tear last year, coming back and just rejuvenating that offense. Wow.
Good for him. And, when I was watching that game against the Broncos and he went down, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's out. He was laying on that ground.
Well, he left in an ambulance.
And he was out. I was seeing some clips. I mean, he looked great catching patches. So I think he's going to play.
Oh, okay.
That being said, you got to beat this team, man. It's been great what they've done this year, but we still got that monkey on our back. We still do. I know we beat them in Lambeau last year, but you can talk about
people
backups playing and sitting and, it didn't mean anything. This is, the lights are on now, but yes. I know this Bears team believes they can beat this team and put it to them.
I do think that the Bears beat San Fran if they beat the Pack. Then that Lions game doesn't matter as much anymore. I agree,
and that's the best case scenario.
The worst case scenario is the Bears lose Saturday to the Pack, and then those last two games suddenly almost become must-win.
Must-wins, yes.
And San Fran on the road, again, so difficult.
Yeah, it's been an awesome season.
It's been so fun, dude. Gosh. They still can't put their foot on the opponent's neck, though. They just, even the Browns game, it was 31-3. That didn't feel like a 31-3 game.
They had that second quarter mid.
It was 14-0 after the first.
What does Ben Johnson say? The 4 minutes before halftime and the 4 minutes after, the mid 8 or whatever he says. Right. It was not, that. And I'm glad he brings that up because those are key.
You could have scored at least one more touchdown there. Of course, they missed a field goal, but it should have been, again, at least 17-0 or 21-0 at that halftime. And it just, they let them back in. There was a time where was it like 14-3? And there's like, dude, the Browns getting back in this game.
Yeah.
And they were driving, and Jalen picked off that pass, which was an insane throw from Shedeur right at Judy, but he just tore it apart.
It was, besides those middle four, it was belt to ass all game.
It was.
And we are a better team than them.
But
Caleb played great.
They should have pulled further earlier. That's what I'm saying.
For sure.
It was a beatdown. It was 31-3. It's NFL. That's not a common score. They beat the hell out of them.
Nothing more you can ask for, though, right now is being in this position. We're at the top of the NFC North, and we got to go just win games.
Again.
Yeah,
that was it. If
you don't need no
beat
help.
The breaks off the Browns, Packers lose to the Broncos, Rams beat the Lions, Bears are now in control of their destiny again.
So hopefully next episode we're coming back and we're in the playoffs.
We could easily have that. Yeah, easily. Even after this weekend, potentially.
Yeah. So what a season. Wow.
What a season. So fun, dude. Go Bears.
Season. All right, there's our Bears talk. We had to get it out. We have to on every episode.
We could do that for a long time.
I know, we can.
All right, let's shut it down for people for the holidays. Again, to echo Jimmy's message, guys, thank you so much for all the support in our first year on the podcast. Just nuts how far we've come, and that's because of you guys.
We'll see you guys in 2026. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the support, like James says.
And go Bears.
Go Bears.
Let's go.